2JZ underneath the bonnet of this BMW E92 M3 this year. 3.4 litre stroker, 900 horsepower as he kicks the clutch across the circuit. Pöytälääakso, no messing around, gets into it, puts the car right to the edge of the circuit. Oh, big flick from Pöytälääakso. Look at this, this is what we wanted to see. Just about holds on wheel on that white line as he now tries to fulfill all of these outside zones. Across he comes once again, flicks the car to angle as Pöytälääakso again just about catches a front wheel on that zone and across the line.
Yeah, what a powerful car. I mean, where we're sitting, we can feel.
You got it nailed. There you go. You did it. You got it.
I had to say it fast.
Pöytälääakso off the line. 2JZ this year underneath the bonnet of this BMW E92, and looks like it's working perfectly for him. Alternator issues earlier on in practice. Had to do some welding to the block to put the alternator back on to get him back out for practice, and now looks like he's absolutely swinging. Juha Pöytälääakso is a man that is absolutely possessed. The Finnish driver is cool, calm and collected and very dialed as he gets that one done. Egan for a spot in the top 16 awaits. Egan starts to creep the line and we're going to get this battle underway. Egan comes off the line, it doesn't look good as Pöytälääakso flicks that car in, and that car doesn't want to react. And Pöytälääakso fires through and will complete the run. Drops out of outside zone 4 though. It's scrappy from Juha Pöytälääakso in that lead position. Works his way around down into outside zone 7. Comes in to pick up this inner zone and across the line goes Pöytälääakso, and Egan nowhere to be seen.
I would be very afraid to run one of these cars at this track. I'd be afraid to drive any car around this track. Yeah. I was afraid to drive a car around this track. But Juha Pöytälääakso, not the case. All he wants to do is drive his car around this track, and I don't blame him. Hopefully, though, he can clean up zone 4. I know it's a bye run. I get it.
Yeah.
Not going at it, but I'm hoping he cleans it up a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to need to do work there on outside zone 4, especially as he moves forward in competition. We don't know who he's going to... Information going on, we'll get back to that in a minute, and we're going to get this battle underway first. Look at this, so from Pöytälääakso, he knows that Falvi's fast, and he's now jumping the start. He's waiting for Falvi to initiate as Falvi throws that carbon Kevlar S15, and he's not wrong, Falvi is fast. The carbon Kevlar can barely hold on as a young man from Ireland puts that rear wheel into the outside zone. He's up and gone, and Pöytälääakso, he needs to do something right now. He needs to dive, he needs to make a move, because Falvi makes a big mistake, stalls up and has to get himself back into it.
That was strange from basically the roll. Since this battle began, things just went back and forth and got really weird.
This is going to get interesting right now as Juha Pöytälääakso comes off the line in that lead position. Connor Falvi to give chase. Oh, look at this, aggression already as Pöytälääakso fires the back end of that BMW in the face of Connor Falvi. And Connor Falvi now trying to make a dive. He's on the handbrake for a long while, and now he jumps into it. Look at Falvi, aggressive, but has to stall up massively. This is scrappy from both guys. Love to see what the judges are thinking on this one as Falvi goes to make another move on Juha Pöytälääakso, and he goes for the back bumper across the line.
Yeah, very, very interesting there. There's a lot of things that happen.
Pöytälääakso. I'm going to get crucified for saying the name. That's just how I say it, I'm sorry. Here he goes off the line, nice line so far as he gets into the outside zone. Rain starts to fall once again, you see it on the lens of the camera, into the outside zone as he picks up the fall. Juha now stands on it a little deep on that inner though, it's going to upset the line. He's working hard to push the back end of that BMW into that outer zone, fires down the hill. The compression sets him up lovely though on the inside part of that circuit as he puts the foot to floor once again across the line.
Yeah, Juha, I mean, showing the style.
On the anti-lag button as he gets ready to leave the line in this 2JZ powered BMW, kicks the clutch across the circuit as Juha now puts the wheel on the curb, uses it to guide himself across the circuit into this outside zone, full throttle, but he's away from that wall. He's keeping it safe as Juha, as he fires through, looks for outside zone 4 and fulfills it beautiful. He looks out the side window, down the hill he comes, collects those dots, collects those outside zones, dials it on angle, technical, it's beautiful from Juha Pöytälääakso.
Yeah, really dialed run from a driver that's kind of known for being nuts.
Like he's on form. He says that he likes this track, he likes these tight technical circuits when he's through the gear, as we see an onboard, as the car almost wants to go sideways straight off the start line. They fire in, big angle from the Finnish driver, Juha, as he puts it right where it needs to be. At the skill and the consistency of Pryszkowski as he balances that GR86 right the way along that wall. Now they fire through and it's starting to dry even more, Jacob. The breeze is coming through and the track's dry, but certain parts of it are wet. They pick up the pace as they come down the hill. Both guys now nervous about over-rotating, and look at that, completely wet at that part of the circuit. Pöytälääakso dives on the door and a GR86 across the line.
Oh man. Juha so aggressive through this. I mean, he's not
back on the line. Juha to lead out. Brashkonsky right now, they fire through. The green light goes. The pyro fires off the start line. And it's a nice initiation from Juha. The finish driver puts it right where it needs to be. Goes into that zone. And now look at Brashkonsky. Cuts across. He's not into that outside zone. It's a very shallow line for Juha as he puts foot to floor now. Starts to light up the tyres as they look for outside zone 4 on that part of the track. Wet, dry, who knows at this point. The sun comes out once again and blesses us, but he goes super wide. Can he hold on to it? He misses the transition. He times that transition way too late. And that could be the nail in the coffin. As he comes off the line, 2JZ, engine change this year for this man from Finland as he hammers through the gears. Had a very good practice session. The spotters were very happy as he fires down. Look at that wheel on the line. Just a little deep on that inner, but he's making it work. As Pöytälääakso now puts the car right where it needs to be, and look at this, absolutely ripping through the circuit. Good pace, good speed as he balances the car, not too much angle, flicks it towards the walls. Juha opens up the throttle in the outside zone, puts the tyres right to the edge of the track and across the line.
Juha had maybe the most consistent practice.
Sees him in 13th position at the moment as Juha slots that car into gear now, through the gears, down he comes, over the hill, and look at this, laser focus from the Finnish driver as he goes for a clutch kick, puts that car where it needs to be now. Juha on the throttle nice and early, lovely line so far from Juha as he now balances it, flicks it, looks for the transition, slows it down on the foot brake, gets himself into the outside zone. Juha working the car right where it needs to be, flicks it on full throttle, flicks it back towards the wall, full throttle. And then on full throttle once again as Juha absolutely screams across the line.
Yeah, that little bit of extra that we talked about before, the little bit we were hoping, he's pulling it out now, and this is, I'm very excited for this one too. Just
I mean,
Battle of Finland.
Battle of Finland right now on the line. They come off through the gears. Juha Pöytälääakso to lead out Rittinen as Rittinen now jumps onto the back bumper of that BMW. Tentative initiation from both of these guys. They keep it nice and slow and low speed, but look at that, it messes up Rittinen a little bit. Wheels on the curb. Messes up the transition, now gets himself back into the fight as Rittinen goes for the side of that BMW, looks for the transition back. Rittinen going to make a big dive here, fires the back end there, but it's scrappy from Rittinen, gets himself into the fight, tags the door across the line. Rittinen will turn that car up, it's gripped up to the max, you can see the way he can make those dives, and now can Pöytälääakso keep up with the grip in that GR86 as they come down for initiation, and look at that big flick to angle for Juha Rittinen, and that does for Pöytälääakso as he goes for the transition back. Rittinen into the outside zone as Pöytälääakso goes for a big dive, sets himself up into the door, that small GR86, they fire through the middle of the circuit, up into the wall goes Rittinen. Rittinen though, a wheel over the edge of the circuit, keeps it calm, but Pöytälääakso glues it to the door, then wavers and wobbles as they get it across the line. Yesterday, but he's kind of been refining the setup, refining the car, getting the car ready, and look at this, he's drag racing him down the start line as he goes for the side of the car. Big flick from Heinemann as he puts that car at an incredible angle, and it catches Pöytälääakso out as he hangs onto the throttle, pushes the throttle further through the floor than he has before, but he goes deep in there and it's smoke from the bonnet. There's smoke from the bonnet and Heinemann shuts it down, and Pöytälääakso is going to carry on the run, and I think we just see an engine failure from Lauri Heinemann.
Oh, wow.
Puts the anti-lag on and starts to creep across the line as the light goes green. Shanahan to lead out Pöytälääakso for a spot in the top 4 awaits. Who's it going to be? And an early initiation from Shanahan as he locks up the front brake, puts that car right where it needs to be. Pöytälääakso goes wide, drops wheels off the edge of the track as Shanahan finds his way into this long outside zone, starts to smoke out the Finnish driver. As Shanahan transitions, Pöytälääakso needs to get himself into the fight, and he goes for a big dive, but his wheels off the edge of the circuit once again as Shanahan drags him across the line.
Yeah, Connor laying down just what we expect all week, and what we see is we see.
Drive 100% and make the judges put you into the next step of competition. Here we go, light goes green, through the gears they come. Shanahan already smoking wheels on the back of that GT86 as Pöytälääakso puts that car to the edge of the circuit, picks up that first outside zone now. Clean line as he comes through, go right to the edge of the circuit from Pöytälääakso. As Shanahan now balances his way through, dives onto the rear wheel of that BMW E92 as they fire through, bumper to bumper on the transition, pop the smoke, comes through Shanahan as he now looks for the door. That E92 BMW squeezes up on the inside across the line. Over from the BMW power plant to the 2JZ for 2025, 900 horsepower. As he comes off the line, screams through the gears. Juha aggressively manhandles that car to initiation. It looks like it didn't even want to go, that much grip in the back of the car, but the line is beautiful once again as Juha now works his way through, and this is unbelievable. Look at the style, but shallow on the outside zone as he flicks back, goes on throttle, shallow once again, now starting to lose some of these zones, works it in to this final outside zone, triangulates it almost as he hits the wall in the middle of it. back onto the wall he goes and across the line.
Even on that run-up, you can see
slams the car into gear. Currently sits in 38th position with a 76, needs to improve massively. What can he do as Juha comes through the gears? Very cool, calm and collected is this man. On the handbrake, gets that car set into that first outside zone. Nice line from Juha as he fires down now. Look at this. Starts to find all the zones and very good on that front wheel as well. That tells such a tale, but look at that, a scrub there. Fails to get too deep onto that outside zone now. Works his way into the final outside zone. Bumper towards the wall as he starts to dial on the angle on the foot brake, pushes the bumper to the wall and across the line.
I would hedge my bets and say if Juha Pöytälääakso had one more run.
Car into gearing, presses the button to get the anti-lag pop in as 2JZ sings underneath the bonnet of that BMW. The V8 rumbles from that Mustang RTI Spec 5 DM, and it's all over and in the zone as James Dean fires down. Look at that from Juha though, now starts to gain that lost little bit of ground on run-up as he loses more ground now through the centre of the circuit. Dean on that nice wide line as he puts foot to floor, transitions back, looks for the outside zone. Perfect line from James Dean. Juha gets into the zone, finds the side of that Mustang and now starts to apply the pressure.
That car is so fast. I cannot.
The second half of the battle is going to be Juha to lead out James Dean. As Juha gets the green light, comes off, breaks that laser beam, fires through the gears as James Dean keeps in tow. Doesn't want to let Juha get away as Rubber fires off the circuit and fires into that first outside zone. Nice pull from Juha as he now flicks it back, but there's no shaking James Dean as Dean goes for the front wheel. Beautiful chase so far from the Irishman as Juha Pöytälääakso fires into that outside zone, looks for the transition. Dean is with him though. Now Dean loses some ground, tries to get back into the pocket, starts to drive away. Does Juha as Dean fires it on the door across the line.
Yeah, Juha Pöytälääakso did what he needed to do on that swap of the lead. Didn't freak out, didn't panic. Still put down a solid lead run and hope that there was some sort of error force between James Dean.
Slaps that car into gear and a refreshment zip tied to the handbrake because you can't have enough refreshment this weekend. Off the line he comes out, the Finnish driver in this incredible BMW E92. 900 horsepower, 2JZ, 3.5 stroke car, nice line so far. Pöytälääakso as he now puts that car ready to be a little slow down but works his way in. You can see not much of the tail light left after this weekend's proceedings so far as he now puts into outside zone 5, comes up a little shallow but nevertheless doesn't want to risk too much, doesn't want to flirt with the zero as he puts it on the wall across the line. Just sheer 900 horsepower.
That's it?
That's all he's got, but he's going to unleash it right now onto the tarmac of Ferropolis as he fires in as Juha puts that car where it needs to be. Big handbrake drag. Look at that, the front of the car pops up with aggression as he lifts his foot off the clutch. Now looks for the outside zone, collects it nicely. What's the line going to be like into outside zone 4? It's absolutely beautiful from the Finnish driver as he now opens up the throttle perfectly. Looks down the circuit for the outside zone 5. Towards the wall he goes as Finland's finest puts the car where it needs to be. Looks for the final outside zone and across the line goes Pöytälääakso.
We asked him for
championship. So getting that European seat time, trying to get as good as these Polish drivers. And said now he's found that form. Now he knows what he needs to do. And this is hitting now. Juha Pöytälääakso. And Pöytälääakso, the higher qualifier, opting to chase first as they fire through into outside zone 4. Harbali into that long outside zone. But look at this, Juha onto the door, no messing around as he fires through, mistimes the transition, gives him some room. And will Harbali take that advantage and drive away? And he tries to, but there's no shame. The Finnish driver.
Yeah, that was definitely a back and forth battle. Sometimes, you know, one driver.
Juha Pöytälääakso as they come off the line and through the gears. 2JZ power this season for Pöytälääakso, the Finnish driver up and gone. A big clutch kick on initiation down. They fire into that first outside zone as Nassau Harbali keeps his distance, keeps his course. He hunts down the side of the Finnish driver's car. They fire through. Oh, there's going to be contact into the wall. Both guys wedged and sandwiched between the wall and each other.
Yeah, thankfully that wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know, both drivers having a bit of a momentum change through that section.
Car into gear and he's given the nod and the green light to go as Juha comes off the line and through the gears as Pöytälääakso. That's the back end of that E92 BMW towards the wall and into that outside zone as he stands on the throttle now. 900 horsepower being unleashed onto the tarmac in Poland as he flicks it nicely into outside zone 4. Pöytälääakso back on the throttle, working that back end, a little tag there. Do you see it upset the front wheels? He stays in it though as he picks up outside zone 5. He's going to look at that nice transition, that nice line, just dabs the handbrake, gives a slightly dials on the angle. He's late to get to 6. makes it work though. Pöytälääakso goes for 7, a little shallow and across the line.
Interesting tactic in the
To the
6th.
thick end of the championship. Juha Pöytälääakso comes off the line from Finland in this crazy 2JZ E92 BMW, puts it to the wall as Pöytälääakso wants it, he's hungry for it, he's out of the show, he's in 36th position, he knows he needs to do everything he can as he shallows up the angle and heads into outside zone 4. It's clean so far from the Finnish driver as Juha now works his way around, he looks for outside zone 5, picks it up nicely, now for the transition, dials it in, he looks out the window for outside zone 6, another driver on the foot brake heavy as he works his way around that final outside zone and across the line.
Pöytälääakso, he's going for it.
Credit to the championship and a great contender for it in coming years as he slams through the gears. They're off the line, it's no messing around, there's still top spots in the top 16 away as we see them both get into it. Juha Pöytälääakso, big contact with the wall, gets himself back into the mix as Mika Keski-Korpi up and gone into inside zone 3, now into 4, and you can see once again onto the wall for Juha Pöytälääakso as Mika Keski-Korpi owns the throttle, tries to drive away from his fellow Finn. They fire through the middle of the circuit. Keski-Korpi gets in to outside zone 6, hammers the throttle through the floor. Now Juha finds the door once again, that BMW 2 Series, and across the line.
Keski-Korpi just on fire all the way through.